Hello traders, I'm Cam Mitchell, founder of Trade With Me. Today's topic, well, it's something that I'm not ashamed to say that I am very passionate about. I love backtesting, absolutely love backtesting. I get a lot of people asking me though that how do you actually backtest? We know it's important, but how do you do it? Well, I'm going to show you today how I backtest. I do it quite a bit, and I'm going to show you the steps that I go through and a couple of things that you can do to backtest. So let's go to the screen here, and you'll see that I actually have a chart up of Commonwealth Bank of Australia. Now what we're trying to see is that if we have a strategy, we want to see if that strategy has worked in the past. So we need to go to the chart and go back into the past. There's a couple of ways that you can backtest. What you can do is you can go back into the past and just choose a random date. And let's just say our strategy, we'll use this bar as a strategy. We're looking for a bar in opposite fifths where it's opened low and closed high. We're not going to overdo this in terms of what the strategy actually is, but we're going to say how many of these bars have gone into profit. So what you can do is you can just scroll the chart back and gradually go bit by bit. And I'm just looking for a strong bar in opposite fifths that stands out. And you do get times where nothing stands out. You might say nothing's happening throughout here. And then we might say, okay, this is a bar here that stands out in opposite fifths. We'll just use this as a quick example. And what I can do is I can zoom in here. I'll go to that bar again. And I'm now going to test day by day what happened the next day. So let's say we entered at the close of this bar. What happened the next day? Okay, so it's gone into profit. We then need to decide based on our strategy or based on whatever your technique is how you actually would do that step by step, what your stop loss is, etc., etc. That's based on your strategy. I'm not going to go through strategies today, but if you just keep following day by day, then we get an idea of what this trade did. Now, what I highly recommend, and this is a really big thing, is that any single time you get something that meets your rules and that is a trade, I recommend that you take a screenshot of it. So what you can do here is we'll give it a little bit of space and we'll say this is our entry bar as an example here. I have a program called Snagit, which is a capture tool. It takes a picture of the whole screen, but you can use print screen and do this in Microsoft Paint. What you can do is you go to this area here, click on the image, and I can actually take a full copy of this whole chart, which I'm doing now. Okay, and that's now opened up in my Snagit. Now what I like to do is I like to go and select these bars that are in the future, and I will delete those and get rid of those, and then I will just fill the section with white, and I'll make that just a little bit cleaner. It doesn't look very clean here. And I'll just fill that again. Okay, so now what I've got is I actually have a picture of what the trade looked exactly at that time. What I like to do is I like to go to File and save that as a picture. And then when the market's not open, I will go through all of my previous trades and just look at those patterns over and over again. Technical analysis or trading is really about accessing the library in your head and going over those previous patterns and getting them in your pattern, getting that pattern in your head. Very much like tennis. If you think about tennis, that before you go into a match, you practice before that match. You hit lots of forehands, lots of backhands, but you definitely warm up and practice doing the same thing over and over, getting ready for the big match. Same with trading. Before the market opens, I will go over my previous trades and I'll say, oh, here are all the positive trades. What pattern did they have in common? And I'll get that into my head so I'm ready for when the market opens. So that's a pretty, you can actually do that. That's a fairly basic way of doing it. And you can do this day by day. Now, there are some programs out there like this one. This is called Optima, or used to be called Market Analyst. And what you can do with this program, and what I like, is you can actually turn on what's called training mode. There are some programs that have training mode, and I can go back into the past. And I can decide how far I go back. So let's just say we'll go back to this area here because there's a bar in opposite thirds. I can now close that, zoom in, and I can simply go day by day and use the same technique that we used before. So this is a little bit more advanced, but the great thing about this is I can say, okay, if I'm in, I might have my stop at the low of this bar. Next day, okay, I might have the stop at the low of this bar. Next day, okay, I've been stopped out. So that's almost practicing in not real time, but recreating that same situation as it would be in the market. As we move along, I can keep going along here. moving along, and I'm just looking for a bar that stands out in opposite thirds or opposite fifths. There's a bar there. So let's hypothetically say we get in at the close of this bar. We're looking at going short, so short selling. Next day, well, we've gone down and come back up. We might have had a stop at a certain area, and then we can go day by day by day, and see what actually would have happened as if it was actually happening. Now, of course, the great thing about backtesting is it happens very quickly. You can do a number of days in 5 minutes. Trading is not like that. It takes time and patience. But the great thing is we have access to these charts, and it's so easy to backtest and so easy to look at the different patterns and the different trades that were there. So that is a really big part of my trading. It's something that I do every single day before the market opens, and I even do it while the market is open. I go over those patterns, I go over those pictures and recreate those pictures in my mind. So when a trade comes up, I'm ready, exactly like playing on center court. So hopefully that's helped. That's a very passionate topic of mine, backtesting. So hopefully you got something out of that video. If you've got any questions, please send me an email to support@tradewithme.com.au, or for all the latest videos, you can go to tradewithme.com.au. Until the next video, hopefully I'll see you soon. Thanks very much.